a lot of people aren't seeing the type of results they would expect because there's something holding them back, and usually that something is happening around food. So we're going to go into a little training on what you can do to make sure you are moving at the best speed possible. Now, I know you're familiar with the concept of calories. You hear about calorie tracking, you want to be in a calorie deficit, make sure you're tracking your food. And you may be doing that, meaning you're using MyFitnessPal, you are typing in what you think you're having, you see the calories, you're like, I'm being accurate, coach, I'm accurate. But then you're still not losing weight. And that might be because you're not being as accurate as you think. So I'm going to show you how you should properly be tracking your food. Now let's say you decide to have a smoothie, right? You're going to have a frozen, a strawberry and banana smoothie. So let's say you get something like this, and then you take a look at the nutrition label and you're like, okay, so 1 cup is 90 calories. So you take out MyFitnessPal, you type in 90 calories, and then you proceed to pour what you think a cup of this is. So what I have here are 3 different options. These amounts are all different, all right? But depending on what you're doing and how accurate you truly are, these cups, all right, may be a little off of what you think you're entering. So let's say you're going off the bag. You're having 1 cup, which is 90 calories. And this is your 1 cup that you're adding. But if you take a look at the nutrition label on the bag, what I want you all to pay attention to is not where it says a cup, not where it says a tablespoon. What you want to pay attention to is where it has the grams of what a cup is. Because what you want to do to make sure you're giving yourself the best chance of being accurate is by weighing the grams, not eyeballing a cup. All right, so if you look on the bag, you can see that 1 cup is 140 grams. Now, we have 3 different cups poured here, and as I told you all, they are not all 140 grams. They're very different. So let's go with this pink cup first. So this is your cup that you decide. So you're like, all right, well, this is obviously a cup. I'll put this in my smoothie. Now, if you were to have weighed it, and here's a quick tip about weighing. So we have our scale here. What you're not going to do is pour stuff in the cup, then set the cup on here. That'll give you a off number. What you want to do is have the scale off. You put the cup on it first, then turn the scale on, then you will pour in what you're having to get an accurate weight of how many grams this really is. So back to the pink cup. You have a cup of berries here, you type in 90 calories. But had you weighed it, you would have found out that this is not what they consider a cup, which is 140 grams. What this really is 265 grams. That's how much is in this cup. Now, remember, look at the label. 90 calories is 140. This is over 200. So the amount of calories we are looking at for this is 170 grams. All right, this is almost double the amount of calories that you thought you had when you didn't weigh it and you just poured a cup. Let's go to the clear one here. This one is 217 grams. So both of these are cups, but the weights are different. And this one is 138 calories. The only one that has the true cup of 140 grams is this big one here. And if we take a look inside, you see the difference of how much fruit this is. And this is an example with low calorie food of how when you don't track, you can get a big difference. Now imagine if this wasn't fruit. Imagine if this was rice. If this was rice, the difference in just eyeballing what a cup is versus weighing it the difference can be huge. That's the difference between having 150 calories worth of rice versus 400 calories. So what I want you all to make sure you are doing with your foods, weigh it in grams, all right? In grams. You want to, if it's something that's packaged and they have the calories on there, you can just scan it. Once you scan it, you want to go into MyFitnessPal, and they have the option where you can toggle between grams, cups, ounces. I want you to choose grams. Pick that and then you weigh it. And then however many grams of food you have is what I then want you putting into MyFitnessPal. This by itself makes a big difference. So, we did it with just as one smoothie, where if you had this one, you're having double the calories. Now imagine if you do the same thing with all your meals. You're not weighing. You're like, okay, it's a cup of rice. And you pour in your cup of rice. You're having chicken, right? So let's say you have your chicken and you're like, all right, I'm having a chicken breast. So instead of weighing it, you just type in chicken breast, right? And then you select the option that says one breast. One chicken breast will not be the same amount of calories because different chicken breasts can weigh different amounts of grams. You could have a 200 gram chicken breast versus a 100 gram chicken breast. Those calories will be different. So if you're somebody, when you go to MyFitnessPal and you're looking on your plate and you're just typing in, all right, that's one chicken breast, you put that in. You're like rice, and you're like, I think it's one cup of rice. And then you wonder why you're not losing weight. It's because that's not accurate. Weigh it in grams. Now you can also use ounces, but grams I think is a better way. You can get a lot more specific with your grams. All right, so if you're doing that, then you will truly know how much you're eating. Now let's say you are doing that and you're weighing everything in grams and you're not losing any weight. What that means is now you can actually look at your calories, all right? And then you can see, okay, I know I'm definitely having this amount, but I'm not losing any weight. Now we can actually use that information to make a proper change. Because if you're not being accurate, the amount of calories that you think you're eating is pretty useless because what you tracked might not be correct. But if it is correct, we then know, okay, you're not in a deficit right now. Let's drop your calories lower. Or if we know for a fact your calories are accurate, then we can strategically increase your activity, your cardio, your movement. But if you're not being accurate, that increase in movement, you can easily eat it away because you don't know how much food you're truly eating. All right, so start doing this. You will see improvements, and that is it for today's training. I hope this was helpful, guys. Make sure, track your food, weigh it in grams.